Today, we will be discussing ethnocentrism. And what is ethnocentrism? First, ethnocentrism is using one's own culture as the benchmark to judge other cultures, so creating bias. Ethnocentrism occurs when one has the belief that their own cultural groups is superior to others. Individuals who are ethnocentric will believe that their culture's beliefs, ideas, values, and practices are correct, and they use the standards in their own culture to assess their other cultural groups. A popular example of ethnocentrism is to think of the utensils different cultures prefers to use. Some cultures prefer to use forks, spoons, and knives to eat, and may have the belief that it is weird or incorrect that some cultures traditionally use chopsticks to eat. That's why anyone can experience ethnocentrism. It is not only found in one culture or society. And what are the pros of ethnocentrism? First, high degrees of self-esteem are produced through it. There must be initial love for the culture in order for someone to project it onto someone else. When self-esteem is high, ethnocentrism develops, which can be advantageous in some situations. By highlighting patriotism, national pride, or the desire to practice one's preferred religion with others in a similar fashion. It forges common ground. We feel connected and like we belong when we relate to others on an emotional level. Second is ethnocentrism brings like-minded people together. Most people feel at ease around other people who are similar to themselves. When we are with individuals who share our opinions or behaviors, we feel free to be ourselves. The expectation is that other people from different cultures or races will also experience this desire for connection. When one's social networks support the advantages of their viewpoint, one often feels relatively content with where they are in life. Third, it enables a society to cherish its historical customs. The fact that ethnocentrism lays a strong focus on previous customs and practices is one of its most distinctive features. It is in some ways a perspective that enables us to understand what life was like in the past. One way to ensure that a culture endures for centuries, if not longer, it is to demonstrate to younger generations what may be achieved through established best practices. Fourth one, the world we live in today was shaped by ethnocentrism. Sincerity be told, most of us have fairly wonderful life. Sure, we experience both good and bad days. It's thanks in part to the advantage of ethnocentrism that we are even able to have these days because of an ethnocentric conviction that God was calling Americans to spread Christianity from coast to coast through any means necessary. The westward expansion of the United States took place because it was believed that any resources discovered belong to the discoverer. Europe began the first colonization of the Americas. Cons of ethnocentrism. First, ethnocentrism promotes erroneous inferences or conclusions. In some manner, everyone is ethnocentric. Others represent what each of us considers to be normal. Generalizations are simpler for us to comprehend than unique viewpoints that are different from our own. We frequently make snap judgment about people based on these generalizations. When meeting a complete stranger, it might only take a few seconds to form an opinion about them. We regrettably frequently draw incorrect conclusions about that person and their society as a whole because we lack accurate knowledge or opinions. Second one, ethnocentrism constricts viewpoints. Ethnocentrism would cause your new boss to say something like, "We've always done things this way and it works. Let's not change things." The reverse might also be true. Maybe it is easier from your perspective to do things once, But the new team has discovered that triple checking their work actually saves them money in the long run. Ethnocentrism would then place your perspective as superior to the best practices being used, even though your perspective rally isn't a best practice. Thirdly, ethnocentrism causes isolation. Take a moment to picture yourselves in your preferred university's world history course. When you take the textbook out, you see that it provides a thorough analysis of American history. It does not include the rest of the planet. The fact that many kids are taught that their country is the best is one of the biggest farces in modern education. This displays ethnocentrism. Fourth one, it reduces options. People who hold an ethnocentric mindset frequently apply that viewpoint to all facets of their lives. Even their buying frequencies will change as a result. Have you ever received criticism for making a China source purchase? Criticism of that nature is manifestation of ethnocentrism in action. And what is ethnocentrism in short-term mission? Short-term mission accused of engaging in ethnocentrism has been exhibiting benevolent paternalism and cultural imperialism. The participants, even if they lack formal training for the job at hand, short-term mission who have little experience with cross-cultural communications and little understanding of the host culture frequently assume the role of teacher. They appear to be operating on the assumption that simply by virtue of being Western, they are in some way culturally superior to the people they are working for or even collaborating with. The successful proclamation of the gospel to a people group can severely harm by this ethnocentricity in mission. When missionaries are ethnocentric, it can result in the syncretism of Western culture and the gospel, which can harm both long-term and short-term missions.